What is a digital footprint? A digital footprint is all of the information that exists about you or anybody online because of your online activity. So everything that you have done digitally becomes linked to you and basically becomes a part of your digital identity. So texting, your browsing history, IP addresses, passwords, and even your internet service providers all make up your digital footprint. I know that sounds a little scary and it makes you want to go check and see what you have done digitally, all of that immediately. One thing that you should know about it is that it's always growing continually. And the scarier part is that it's not only up to you. So your information is passed on, making it more searchable and viewable for anyone that wants to look at you online. So you don't even know who that is. That's why they say an invisible audience. And if you have friends that are putting pictures of you and tagging you, that also becomes a part of your digital footprint. All of the groups and companies that you are linked to becomes a part of your digital footprinting as well. That's why they say be careful of what you put online. Has anybody ever heard the saying, be careful of the company you keep? That also goes for online as well. So if you have any friends that are a part of extreme groups and you're in the pictures of them with them, then your digital footprint will be tagged, with that. So I know some of you guys are like, ooh, like maybe I should erase some of this content that I have and get it to a point where it's more approachable or nicer for other people to look at. But it's not really erasable. It's kind of permanent. And it's permanent because of all the different ways that it can be archived. And the fact that it's passed on from one friend to another friend makes it more permanent. So there's not a real way that you can erase your digital footprinting and make it go away entirely, but you can clean it up. And here are some ways that you can clean up your digital footprinting. One, you want to audit your accounts. So create a list of your accounts that you have and deactivate any of the ones that you don't really use like that. Those abandoned accounts make it easier for hackers to get into them, and hackers can do whatever they please with your account, including scam some of your friends that might be associated with that account. Also, they can even gain access to other accounts that may be linked to that account, which is why you shouldn't link your accounts as well. You also want to make sure you're sharing with care. There's a lot of fake news. News in general, good or bad, travels fast. So we want to make sure we evaluate our information, make sure that the sources are credible before we share them. Because if we're sharing information, some of these things have some lasting consequences to them. So we have to treat online communication like we do face to face. If it's not right to say online, then it's not. No, my bad, you guys. If it's not right to say face to face, then it's not right to say online. If you wouldn't share those pictures face to face, or you can get in trouble for sharing pictures face to face, then you shouldn't share those pictures online. And also make sure to keep your personal details about your family or friends private. No one should know any personal information, not the world. Also, you can manage your privacy settings. Take control of what you want the world to see. I know me personally, I have my Facebook and my Instagram to private. It's not public at all. So I can filter out and see what friends I'm willing to accept so they can see the information that I am putting out there. I also have my Facebook set so that if you're not my friend, the only thing that you can see is my profile picture. You're not able to see any posts that I've put on my wall. You can't see any other pictures that I might have shared, but you are able to see some of my mutual friends that we may have together, but other friends, no, you can't. I know some people have taken a step further so that you can't even tag them in any pictures or post anything on their walls, not even to say happy birthday. Also, before you do any of this, you could probably do a Google search just to see what others are seeing. See what your digital footprinting looks like to others. That way you can clean it up to suit your needs. Here is an example of Bailey McMurdy's digital footprinting. Once you Google her, you can see all of these links and a bunch of pictures. Some of you guys may know her as Bailey Parker. She is the Director of Communications here at the Department of Consumer Affairs. And as you can see immediately, you can see that she's been to Connecticut, Utah, and now she's in South Carolina. You can also see that she was a sports reporter before for Fox. And we have some pictures here. You can also see some of the awards she had won for previously at different schools. So if there was anything negative that was going on or any negative pictures that might have been out there, we would definitely see it, especially in her line of work of public relations. A lot of times when you are in PR, you become the face of the company or organization. So that's why we have to be careful about what we put online. Now, social appropriateness, we're going to get into about privacy and safety. Like I said previously, you shouldn't be sharing any personal information about your friends and family, especially private information like your vacation details. I know a lot of people love to post up their boarding passes or their passports, their flight details, just to let people know, hey, I'm going on vacations. This is what I'm doing. This is what it looks like. But when you're posting that information, you're making it easier to get hacked. I know for me, when I see my boarding pass, I'm just like, oh, it's just a bunch of numbers that let people know where I'm going, and where I'm sitting at. But those numbers are actually your passenger name record codes, and they're printed on your boarding pass and your luggage ticket. And if a hacker was to get that information, what they can do is change some things, like your seating and your meals. Like imagine being, I know I would be upset if I moved from a window seat to an aisle seat. I would be so hurt. Also, they can even steal your frequent flyer miles. Imagine you saved up so many miles to go to Jamaica for someone else to take it. Wouldn't you be hurt? I would be so hurt. So those are some of the things that a hacker can do. They can even change your flight reservation or cancel them. So keep those type of details to yourself. Speaking of pictures to post, you gotta be careful of the pictures you post, especially when it comes to huge accomplishments like buying a home. I've seen several people post pictures. Oh, I'm finally a homeowner. We got the keys, but they have their house number in the picture. Not to mention they have a revealing bio, so the city and the state that they stay in already have access to that. Now they put a picture of the house number that they're in, a picture of what the house looks like. So if I was a thief, I would know exactly where to go and what I would want because of all of these pictures that they have posted. Speaking of revealing bio, no one needs to know what high school you went to, the mascot, the college you graduated from, the year you graduated. That's way too much information to be putting out for someone to actually use it against you. And trusting third parties. I know it's easy to just accept the terms and conditions when you're playing games or when you have it connected to your social media so you won't have to log in. But when you're trusting these third parties, you're actually giving them access to your data. And what they can do with that data is they'll sell it to someone else, or they can actually just hack it. So don't trust third parties. And here is an example of a revealing bio. Someone that's going to put their hometown, the first pet, all of this information, fill it out accurately. Don't do that because you're giving people puzzles to the information that they need. And the information that they need is the passwords and your security questions answers. Another way that hackers and scammers can do this is through some of the games that they have. And here's an example of one. I see these all the time on Facebook. I actually play them, but I don't comment the answers under the picture. When you comment the answers under the picture, you're actually giving them the pieces again to the puzzle that they need. So this one is like a game. It's asking you what is your reboot franchise. So for instance, if my birthday was September 9th and my phone was on 9%, you guys already know my name is Isis Booker, and I comment all of that information, they will already have the pieces that they need to access some of my most important information. Another thing we have to be careful with online is cyberbullying and cyber harassment. And this is basically a form of bullying or harassment using electronic devices. So, no, it's not just social media, it's also texting as well as email. Anything that's done digitally could be used as a cyber bullying or cyber harassment. And what that is basically threatening you or telling someone to harm themselves, pretending to be someone, or posting personal or false information. Also, posting rumors about someone that could be hurtful, mean, or embarrassing. Now, with the last one, it's not to be confused with posting a silly picture of someone as people are like saying little comments, and then if they were to come to you and say, hey, I didn't like that picture, can you take it down? If you take it down, then that's not a form of bullying or harassment. But if you was to keep it up, knowing that it's hurting somebody else, and all of these comments are going on, then that would be considered cyberbullying and cyber harassment. So, in conclusion, social media follows you. Okay, so if what you post today, if it embarrasses you when you're somebody's grandfather, you don't want someone to say, hey, Papa, did you post this? And you're embarrassed about it, then maybe you shouldn't post that. It's it's going to be online forever, and people are going to be able to access that. So if that's something that's going to be detrimental to you or even your career or something that you want to be a part of later on, definitely think twice. Matter of fact, don't post it at all, because if you delete it, that doesn't mean that it's gone. There are ways for these platforms to actually recover things that's deleted. And that includes your personal and professional way of communicating with others. Um, in 2006, 12% of hiring managers were using social media accounts as a screening tool. In 2010, that increased to 25%, and now it's at 70%. I don't know if anybody remember this, but I would say it's like one of the first cases that happened. It was a teacher. She was on vacation and she had a beer bottle in her hand. She wasn't even drinking it. But the school ended up firing her because they felt like that picture didn't represent them in the light that they would have liked. So because she's associated with the school and the school got connected with that picture, she ended up getting fired. So here are the top 3 turnoffs: provocative or inappropriate content, post about drinking or using drugs, which I just mentioned previously, and discriminatory comments. So almost a lot of people use social media as a tool to hire because anybody can be anyone face to face. You can sell anything. But social media is basically who you are in real life or what's supposed to be. So that's why they use it a lot of times. And it can have an effect on your career, definitely. Here's another example. A firefighter left his job. He said his house was on fire. Half an hour later, his wife tagged him in a picture of him in a kiddie pool in front of his house that was what? Not on fire. And the boss was just like, hey, if he just simply asked to leave early, he would have said yes. Do you guys think he still has that job? No, he does not. Another example is a prospective employee just passed his interview and was told that all he needed to do was to pass his drug test and his physical and he could start on Monday. He get on Facebook 20 minutes later after the interview asking people if they know how to pass a drug test in 24 hours. Did he get the job? No, he did not. Another example. This 18-year-old, she was sharing her pictures online. This 37 news presenter gets online complimenting her, asking her out. He lost his job later that week, mostly because he used the Weather Channel's Twitter account. You guys, social media is kind of tied to real life. Just because it's online doesn't mean you can just do whatever you want. If you wouldn't use your company's car to go on vacation, then you shouldn't be using your company's social media account for your personal gains. And did this 37-year-old news presenter still have a job? No, he does not. So social media definitely affects people's career. We have to talk about digital etiquette and how to actually interact with people online. And people need to know that they should communicate just as they would face to face. And it just doesn't stop at jobs. Here's an example of this teenager making racist, I'm sorry, you guys, making racist social media posts. And his dream school actually rescinded their admission because they don't want to be tied with something racist. They don't want to be known as the school that tolerate racism in any kind of form. So they rescinded their admissions offer. And I'm pretty sure if other schools got whiff of who this person was, that they would do the same thing. So his dream school, he now have to figure out another school that he'll be able to get admitted in that will allow him to go to school because his admission has just got rescinded again. So we have to be careful with the things that we say. We just can't say anything willy-nilly. And here's some things that we should definitely watch out for. Facebook and Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. They are some of the most used social media platforms. And we have to be careful with these. I know a lot of people love TikTok right now, but at one point they were actually, in their terms and conditions, they were saying that they actually have rights to your social media platform on TikTok, that they own your identity. Um, Snapchat, a lot of people think that, hey, I could post whatever I want on Snapchat because it deletes in 24 hours. Well, in their terms and conditions, they have that they can keep anything that they want archived for up to 30 days, just in case they need to recover it for something. So don't trust social media to have your back. You need to read terms and conditions. And also, we have to use common sense as well when we're posting to these things. Just because we're trying to follow a trend or something, it can actually have a negative effect on our personal and professional lives. Here are some ways that you can stay safe on social media because there are a lot of scams that's going on social media. One of the bigger reasons is because it's free. So why not? You get create an account for free and you use people to scam, you get this money. That's 100% profit right there. So how does it start? One is you. Like I said before, we have to stop sharing all of this information. We overshare too much, especially on social media. Never feel pressured to share so much information on social media. I know a lot of people are trying to get Insta famous, but don't do it. There's also security breaches that's going on. Lost or stolen wallets. If you have your social security number or your birth certificate on you, not just in your wallet, but also in your purse or backpack or whatever, take that information out. It's very personal to you. Put it in a box, preferably something that's fireproof, and put it away in your house. There's no reason why you should have that information on you at all times. Also, family and friends can steal your identity. I have a cousin who gave her social security number to a friend in high school. We were in high school. She gave her friend or someone she thought was her friend her social security number. That friend and her mother ended up getting phones in my friend's name and they were ruining her credit before she could even get it started. All because she didn't know that it was that important and she thought she had a friend that wasn't going to do wrong by her. And yes, identity thieves are still stealing people's mail and doing dumpster diving. So if you have important mail, please make sure you shred that information, preferably with one that's a confetti shredder so they can't put the pieces together to get your name, address, and all that good stuff. So, you guys, who do you think gets scammed more? Is it old people or young people? I put a poll out there for you guys so you can see. Okay, I'll give it a couple more seconds before we close it. All right, so 57% says old people, 43% says young people. So let me share with you guys this chart. In the blue or turquoise is the median by age, and that line that's in gold is going to be the percentage reporting a loss. So older people will get scammed out of more money. Let's see, 80 and over got scammed out of $1,000 or so. Between the ages of 60 and 69, 540. Now, when we go down to the younger, like 30 to 39-year-olds, $350. Even 19-year-olds and under are getting scammed out of $250. So I say all of this to say it doesn't matter. We're all getting scammed. All of us are getting scammed. I mean, we have to keep an open mind. For the younger people, they're getting scammed out of a little bit of money. The older people are getting scammed out of a lot more. And these scammers, they're coming in all shapes and sizes. So phone, direct mailers, text messaging, emails, and they're still coming face to face, scamming people as well. So, just so you know, your money is valuable to scammers, but your information is even better. So they might come with you like, hey, can you pay this fee? And you have to fill out all this information in order for you to get a prize or something like that. All of that is scams, and we're going to actually talk about the different types of social media scams as well. Let's start with investments in cryptocurrency. I would highly recommend, if you don't know anything about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, bit mining, to do your research before investing. This is one of the most popular type of scams that you can see out there. And when you send your money off, it's like cash. There's no trace and there's no way for you to get it back. Here's an example. During the pandemic, Elon Musk impersonators were scamming people out with a crypto, out of their money with a crypto scam. And they also hacked into President Joe Biden's and former President Barack Obama's Twitter account, and were getting people to believe that they were trying to double their money through Bitcoin. And the red flags in these tweets are they're trying to make it, they made a deadline. They're trying to make you hurry up and not think about what's going on. So they only gave you 30 minutes. Like, hey, we only doing this for 30 minutes. Do you want us to double your money or not? And a lot of people are feeding off of hope, so they get caught up into these scams. Um, Elon Musk is a very popular person for scammers to use. They actually have another scam that's on a rise called deepfake crypto. And basically, deepfake is a when you use videos of people, especially a popular person like Elon Musk, and you use their videos and it says one thing, but they make it say another thing. Um, and they basically say, hey, I can basically double your money. Give us this amount, and I'm going to turn it into another amount. So, what you need to do is watch and listen carefully to these videos. Also, make sure you can just check online to see if that celebrity actually said that thing. Just Google it, and you should be able to find out. Another scam are job scams. A lot of people are going to be posting up posts about different jobs, and some of those red flags are going to be their work from home, they're always hiring immediately, they're entry level, and there's no real process or application. Here's an example right here. This is a data entry job. Um, they're hiring immediately. There's no application. Another red flag is he's telling people that he will contact them in their inbox. That's a red flag. And if you see another job, data entry for one is a very popular um, social media job scam. But if you see some other type of position and they say, oh, you can get $100,000 and you can make your own hours, those are two more red flags that you got to be wary of. Online influencer scams. So basically, what they do is create a fake social media account. They'll mimic the influencer, say, hey, we're having a contest, and they'll ask the winner to pay a fee or provide their banking information in order to get the prize. I had someone try to scam me through something similar like that. I follow this page called God is Dope. It's an apparel brand, and I was just looking at some of their t-shirts because eventually I wanted to buy one, and I got a message from God is Dope account, and they say, hey, we were doing a contest for people who just recently followed us, um, and you happen to be the winner. You're gonna get a free t-shirt, and we're gonna give you like $50. Give us your cash app, your name, and your address, blah blah blah. And I was like, oh, go me. Look at me. I didn't even know I was a part of a contest. Turns out they end up calling me, asking me for some kind of code that they sent me through my Cash App. And basically, if I was to give them that Cash App code, then they could wipe out my Cash App and my banking information. I mean, they only was going to get like $20, but I guess that doesn't matter. Money is money to these scammers. So when I checked, eventually I checked again, and I reported them and I blocked them from my account. And I also looked at the profile. They had created this whole account. I wasn't even following this account, and I could have got scammed. Uh, so be careful. Make sure you actually research what's going on before giving your information over to an influencer. Another scam is online shopping scams. They make the websites look real. They selling items at a huge discount, but you'll never get that item. I've seen plenty of online websites where they have everything is free. You just pay for shipping, and shipping is like $12 or $30, something cheap, but it doesn't matter how much it is because you can get all these items for free. Red flag, that's a red flag. Don't order. They trying to get your information, um, your credit card and your personal information. Another scam is online dating scam. Have anybody ever heard of catfishing, or have you seen the show 90 Day Fiance? So basically, these people will go online. Most of the times, their profile picture is not who they are in real life. They sell you on a bunch of sweet nothings, and they make you fall in love with them. Also, they can get money from you, whether you paying for a TV or something that they want material, or just sending them cash. I know for 90 Day Fiance, a lot of times they're in it for the long run. They're in it for the long run. They make you fall in love with them. You want to get married with them. They are who they say they are. But once they come over and you're finished sponsoring them, because they can't get a job right away when they come to America, you sponsor them, you paid all this money. All of a sudden, out of the blue, there's going to be problems after they get their green card, and they're going to be done with you because they got their green card. Now they're going to be living freely in America. There's also quiz and survey scams. Um, all you have to do is take a quick quiz and they'll give you a free gift card or a TV or something else, but it ends up being a scam. There are some apps and websites that will pay you to do surveys. You just have to do your research. But here's an example of a survey scam. Complete a 30-second questionnaire and you're going to get exclusive offers. When you sign up for a survey app or online doing surveys for money, it's more so going to be like you're getting paid $2, and the survey that you're going to be doing is going to take like 10 minutes or an hour. So you're giving all this time just for a little bit of money. It's never this easy, ever. So that's a red flag. Another scam is a wrong number text scam. And you'll also see something similar to like this to in your Snapchat. Um, they'll say, "Hey, I had a good time." Then they'll send a risque picture to try and pull you in, just so they can get your credit card information or your personal information to scam you. But here are some things that you can do to prevent yourself from becoming scammed and prevent your identity from being taken. One, you want to take all of your birthdays off all of your accounts. The most important people that's going to tell you happy birthday, they're going to call you and text you. So it's okay to take your birthday off. Make all of your public accounts private, because public is indeed public. Filter out who you want to see what when you make your accounts private. Never geotag your locations because you're setting yourself up to get robbed as well as scammed. And don't link all your social media accounts with each other. When you do that, if someone was to hack one account, now they're all linked. Now they can hack all of the other accounts. You also want to make sure all of your passwords are different from one another, and definitely update them every 3 months. A strong password is 12 characters. It has upper and lowercase letters. Numbers are included as well as special characters. Also use two-factor authentication when offered. And two-factor authentication is basically when you log into your emails or your banking or social media. A code is going to be sent to your phone, and you're the only person that's going to have that code. Also, when it's being sent to your phone, a little warning pops up saying, hey, we will never call to ask you for that code. Anyway, you put that code into your online into the box, and then you'll be able to access your email or your banking information or whatnot. And if someone tells you not to tell anyone, tell. Definitely tell. Run away. That's a major red flag for online and in real life. If you feel like someone is trying to scam you, definitely contact us at CDCA, or you can contact the Federal Trade Commission and report them. And don't trust social media or the internet to protect you. You definitely have to do that to yourself. Think twice with everything, because the social media, they're not going to protect you like you would protect you. All right, you guys, and you can connect with us and find out about other ways that you can protect yourself, as well as the latest scams on our social medias, like Twitter and Facebook. You can also look at any of our previous webinars through our YouTube account. We definitely record each webinar. All right, you guys have a great Wednesday.